Hello Striders, my name is Bobgar and welcome to the Magic Moment. Sorry for not being here last week. I was at my friend Matt's wedding. It was a blast. He is one of the greatest people I've ever known. But even great people have some faults. For instance, in high school, Matt didn't play Magic. He played a game called Raw Deal. Man, those things don't even breathe fire. But while I was down visiting him, I also got to check out some cool museums in the area. This is a picture of me pretending to be a turtle. Here I am pretending to be a T-Rex, and here I am pooping on a space toilet. Man, I've always wanted to be an astronaut. Could you imagine playing Magic in space? Cards would just float around everywhere. You have to hold them down with magnets or something. GP Minneapolis was last weekend. It was taken down by Alexander Johnson with a white-green token stack, a little bit similar to what won the Pro Tour. And in second place was Shota Takao with a white-red, that's Boros, Humans deck, which hasn't been seeing a lot of play. And Humans in general had just a breakout weekend. It was 5 of the top 8 decks. Humans is a deck that ever since the format was kind of announced and brought into being, people were saying, oh, the aggressive Humans decks are going to be really good. And they hadn't really shown up in the top 8s very much. And this one they kind of dominated and took 5 of the slots, so that's pretty cool. But in more scandalous news, Fabrizio Anteri, a 5-time GP winner and 10-time GP top 8er, was disqualified in his first round at GP Minneapolis for deck manipulation. Judges saw him basically mana weaving, which is something you're not really allowed to do, and then not shuffling sufficiently to randomize his deck. And they said that that was giving him an unfair advantage, it was cheating, and they disqualified him from the tournament. Apparently, they were tipped off by Seth Mansfield, who had seen him doing this in earlier events, which is the reason they caught him in the first round and kicked him out. He claims that although what he was doing was wrong, he basically was doing it without thinking about it, and without a malicious intent, and without an intent of trying to gain an advantage. Which hopefully is true. It's very hard to tell. It's hard to trust somebody in that situation. I suspect he's going to be banned, and he probably deserves it. And all through last week, the floodgates opened on spoilers for Eternal Masters. Eternal Masters is a set coming out June 10th, and it contains basically all-star cards throughout Magic's history. It's going to be $10 a pack, so it's going to be super expensive, but the cards look pretty awesome. I'm super excited about a lot of them, and it looks like, I mean, they're not giving you a great value in terms of the packs, but it looks like it's going to almost break even on MSRP. I will say, though, I would definitely not buy booster boxes for $300 a pop, which is what a lot of sites are trying to sell them for right now. I don't think it's worth that much right now, and the prices, I mean, the EV is even right now, and those prices are going to fall. If you look at prices on Modern Masters, the last kind of big reprint All-Star set they did last year, I guess it's Modern Masters 2, you saw things like Daybreak Coronet, and Daybreak Coronet's price just tanked. I mean, it went from a $30 card to a $5 card. It seems to have stabilized there. And that's because a lot of those cards, I mean, not a lot of those cards, some of those cards that were super expensive were expensive because not that many of them were printed compared to their demand. And for cards like that, the prices are going to tank. And there are definitely some Eternal Masters cards I expect that will happen with, where the printing of this set will tank their demand to a point where they might still be worth something, but they'll be worth a fraction of what they were worth before. So you can't really trust these EV calculations right now. On the other hand, there are also certainly a lot of cards that won't drop in value. I don't think it's going to tank the value of the whole set. I mean, if you look at Mox Opal, for instance, Mox Opal continues to do very well today and really didn't lose any value at all since it was announced that it would be reprinted in Modern Masters 2015. Doing a little bit of catch-up from last week, there were 2 modern GPs. GP Los Angeles, which was taken down by Simon Slutsky with a Merfolk deck, which is pretty exciting to me because if you don't know, I play a little bit of Merfolk. I'm not very good, but I'm still excited to see that the deck is still viable in the current modern metagame. And the second place was actually somebody who broke a record during the GP. Ethan Brown was only 13 years old. He took second place with Affinity, and he became the youngest player to ever get to the finals of a GP. So congratulations, Ethan. That is absolutely amazing.
Oh my god, the adorable menace is coming.
GP Charlotte was also last weekend. It was won by Andreas Gans with Ad Nauseam. My girlfriend is going to be so happy. That's your favorite deck. The biggest news, though, was the software having a meltdown in round 4 and matching people at random. This was a little bit of chaos. Story City Games did a pretty good job of reacting to it, giving people free day 2 passes for side events because of the big screw up, but And still, it just shows that the software needs a little bit of work. And one more cool thing about the GPs last weekend was the diversity of the metagame. Let me read to you all of the different decks that managed to top 8.
Bant Eldrazi, Bant Knight Company, Asbane Company, Naya Company, Grixis Control, Kiki Cord, Death Shadow, Scape Shift, Ad Nauseam, Merfolk, Red Green Charm, Affinity, Jund.
That's it. But I mean, still, that's a pretty diverse field for Modern. You know, it's not like we're seeing 6 months ago before Splinter Twin was banned, where you would see 3 or 4 of the top 8 be Splinter Twin decks. So definitely, as much as I'm not a fan of the banning on Splinter Twins, I do think it probably positively affected the meta, at least once they got all the Eldrazi out of there. And that is it for this week's Magic Moment, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any suggestions, always appreciated. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just kind of wing this and hope it turns out okay. So, thanks a lot. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. You can find us on Twitter at MagicGathStrat, Facebook /MagicGatheringStrat, or on the web, magicgatheringstrat.com. There you can find articles and free prize-supported leagues. This is all brought to you by our Patreons and cardhoarder.com. If you enjoyed this content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/MagicGatheringStrat.